Yes, good morning. So it's the morning show. Like and share. We're going to be discussing mass vaccination again this week, focusing on persons 12 to 18 years old. Yes, so that's what we're talking about, mass vaccination for the youth. And we have some videos to show you all. You know, we would have seen in the comment section of news reports concerning the vaccination of students, the secondary school students.
Whether it is virtual or physical, school will reopen this coming September, according to Education Minister Dr. Nian Gatsby-Dolly. She notes that planning and preparations are ongoing regarding possible physical reopening of schools and maintains that vaccination levels will play a major part in that decision. The minister reminds that more sites have been added for the convenience of the students over 12 to be vaccinated and is happy that there has been a large turnout over the past 3 days.
And of course, we are looking at the vaccination, we are looking at our numbers and so on to see who can come out physically first. And that vaccination, those numbers will be very important to determine that. So allow me to take every opportunity, including this one. I'm sure Mr. Maurice Julian will join me to encourage our parents to go out there and get your children vaccinated so that we can get back to school.
And with the arrival of the Johnson & Johnson one-dose vaccines, the minister believes this could be an added benefit since teachers and staff members would be able to be fully vaccinated much sooner.
The rest of us who took the 2 doses, we had to take one and then go back on another day. But with the 1 dose, it's just 1 shot. So it's even easier to do your part to get our country back. And opening school, even though vaccination is not the only level of protection, there are other things, the entry protocols and so on. But vaccination gives us that layer that we cannot deny. Looking globally, we cannot deny it's been effective.
Dr. Gatsby-Dolly continues to encourage teachers, clerical staff and other staff members at school to get vaccinated, which she says could allow for the quicker physical reopening of schools.
Yes. So you have 2 more weeks again to go for that time. As for the reopening of schools, the school will reopen on the 6th of September. That's the date that they have. And it's all based upon the vaccination, the number of students that are vaccinated. They will consider reopening schools physically on a rotation. So it wouldn't be everyone going out at the same time, but focus is being placed on students who are writing CXC, CAPE, exam students. That's what it is.
Where's the plan? Where's the plan? Chica, Riri, Mike, where's the action? What is the action? School opening, Chica, as an educator. You know, how are you feeling?
Well, I know that in my case, right, with the population that I work with, we will not be opening school face-to-face physically for everyone. Yeah? So we have Robin Ruplal saying he doesn't believe in those experimental injections.
Yeah, and we like to give everybody, the vibration. Yeah, so what we see in here now is, we all call that Mike. Mike, phase 2, what is this? What's going on here?
Sorry, I had my mic off. I know if it's phase 2. Well, for me, I don't know nobody in my household right now who had to go to school. So to answer that question, and I don't want to answer for other parents, if you understand what I'm saying. If I have a grandson, now I can't make that decision for my grandson. His mother didn't make that decision. So right now they're looking at that for him to go to school. Right? So for me personally, to answer that, it will be like slapping people in the face. Yeah. If you understand what I'm saying. Because I don't have children. Yeah.
I know you have all the youths home by you.
You have an orphanage.
Yeah, where's your view? Where's your view? Where's your view?
So, Aisha, that's I'm
morning
so
once again.
I'm
My
driving
view
down there.
towards
That's so weird.
the
I start to get
household is
worried
just my
about
cousin
myself.
alone,
I say, oh
and
my
his mom
God,
and
so much I hear coming
his
out.
parents is giving him it so he can go back out to school because they say if they could take it and they are fine, give him it and might as well let him continue his education. Right,
Right.
right, nice.
Chica,
Yes.
Today we have 1,500 children. Just
So Robin is saying my son is 13 and will be looking, and he will be looking at online options.
yeah, now it goes. But we never really heard from the youth, Chica. You know what I realized? When we were certain ages, our parents never really asked us our opinion.
Yeah,
It was just whatever I say to do, do. So we
yeah.
want to hear from the
from 12
youths.
years go up.
We have some clips here from young people just
Yeah, the
saying
age
what is their
sure.
view and things. So we have a teenager. So again, teenagers in the States have rights. Sometimes in Trinidad we just say, all right, I will cut your skin if you do
Hmm.
what I say. But in the countries of the world, young people, even at 13, have rights. So we're going to take a look at a young lady who is enforcing her rights as a teen.
As students
Chica.
across the country prepare to return to in-person learning, the White House is pushing for students 12 and older to get vaccinated. But for some young adults, their parents may not agree to getting them vaccinated against COVID. One teenager is helping her peers get informed about their rights, and she is joining us now, Kelly Daniel-Poor, who is the founder of Vaccine, which is a website. Kelly, thank you so much for being with us. You have this website, and it allows teenagers to go on and look at state-specific information about what they can and cannot do when it comes to their health if they don't have the consent of a person, or of a parent, I should say. So explain this. How do young people, if they don't have consent, proceed? How do they do that?
Thank you so much for having me here. Yes, so I actually, prior to the pandemic, started Vaccine after discovering that many teenagers whose parents really didn't have very positive views about vaccinations were going online and trying to get vaccinated and seeking this information. And so if you are a teen whose parent perhaps doesn't hold such a great view of vaccines, you in certain states do have rights related to your right to get vaccinated. And so in various states, there are bills, laws, accepted practices, which states that a minor can get vaccinated or receive specific healthcare services, including vaccines, without the consent of a parent or guardian.
So you cite on your website the different laws. You can go look there state by state. I was surprised to find out that there are many states where, as long as a doctor believes that the young person is informed and is doing this with proper information, that they can go ahead and proceed. What about a situation where, like a family doctor might not want to override parents? What happens then?
That's fair, and yes, many of the bills and laws that do uphold this right depend on a judgment of maturity by a provider. So the provider has to say that they believe that a young person is sufficiently mature to make this decision for themselves. And it is this gray area, and I think it is hard for a young person, for a parent, for a provider to sort of determine what is right and what conversations should be had. And so I think, yeah, it is very fair that a provider may not want to uphold this, and my hope is that there are providers available to every young person that will, but really just as well making sure that the young person is a part of this conversation, that they have a say in their health. And I think we are talking so much about vaccines and this idea that we should all feel safe and healthy and protect our communities, and I think young people have an incredibly important role to play in that. Mm-hmm. And so while I think it is very difficult to navigate the situation for everyone involved, I understand that a provider also has specific concerns and there were issues involved specifically for them. I think the more important thing is this idea of someone has a right to be healthy and that a young person's health shouldn't be at stake because their age, really.
So what are the stories that you're hearing from young people who want to use this resource? Is it just parents who are against the vaccine, or are they against the vaccine for kids?
It ranges. So for some, it's parents who are hesitant and they want help convincing them. And I think that is such an incredible thing that a teenager could really have this belief, even if their parents do not, and try and convince them. And then there's sort of ranging on the spectrum. We have people whose parents are really deep in conspiracy theories and believe that a vaccine could have a microchip in it, or sort of ranging, very out there views. But yes, sometimes it's just for a young person, sometimes it's just about a COVID vaccination or all vaccinations. It really depends, and there's a wide spectrum. But I think the uniting thing to recognize is, even though a parent may hold this belief, that their child does not, and I think there's something very incredible and awe-inspiring in that.
Yes, so people, so we see Robin again. He got to go cut grass and pick green fig. Right, so we see that Robin going and do some bro. Right, Mike, what do you think about that teen there who would have spoken just now? What are your thoughts? What your views are?
Well, you gotta remember something, as they're saying in America. Three things that Americans don't play with: animals, women, and children. They realize men not part of that. So when it comes to the part of vaccinating, again, we go back to choice. In the US, what I've been reading up to this morning, I was looking at something where they want to get the children. Now, my grandsons in the US, they took the prize, right? Not just to go back out to school, but they took it long before, because my last grandson, he's now preparing to go to school in September. So it wasn't forced on them. That was the decision of my daughter, the mother, to organize them. Now, we have to be very mindful. America, Trinidad, two different entities.
So do you think the youth should have a voice?
Yes,
Do you think that a child going to school, he going fifth form, sixth form, fourth form, third form? Do you think that the young people deserve to be asked?
Yes and no, because
where's the no? Tell me why the no.
No, I wouldn't say no, in a sense that what we would look at in Trinidad, age. You say, well, he's 10 years, you don't have no say. But a child, whether 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, should really have a choice. So in a sense, when I say no, we have to give them the opportunity also. Not because they may have parents. Now remember, children are governed also. So we have to be mindful that we don't really trample on them. Well, what we do, we say, well, a child, before they reach 18, they're not adults, so they don't have no consent for themselves. Not in the US. Not even in the UK.
Riri, what do you think? What do you think, Riri? You're on the move. Chica, what do you think?
No, well, me and Rihanna, we get 50.
So I think that
50
kids that is 12, 13, 14, 15, and 12, 13 have no rights. From 14 go up, they will have no rights.
I don't agree with that.
And we'll see them buying.
All right, sorry, Anna is saying that from the age of 14 and up, she believes that the young in that teen range, that they will have a bit more rights than those who are maybe 12 and 13. Yeah. Right now, in in the US, there are certain laws that would have been passed, because sometimes children, even though people, they say age is just a number. A lot of times we have teenagers who are very much mature and make responsible choices. They don't just make a decision off the whim, right? They think about what it is they do. So they have some level of maturity, even sometimes more than persons who are in their 30s. They make more, they are more responsible, and they show that level of maturity.
Correct.
But everybody, so some people, what happened is it have this fine, I would say it have a fine line. Now, parents will say, well, you living under my roof, and this is my belief.
Right.
Right?
My domain.
Yes. So that is what we find in the Caribbean culture. You're living under my roof. Even with this same said video with the teen, you know,
Yeah.
showing her fellow teens their rights, there
Mm-hmm.
was still like comments like, not in my house, right?
Right.
There are parents all over the world. So it's not just us, right? Not just us in the Caribbean. But the thing about it is, when we talk about it, there's something called children's rights, and sometimes parents forget about that part as well. So while
Correct.
they are under your roof, they should still be able to have freedom of choice.
Thank you.
So it's not
Well
just
said.
the parents saying, well, you're under my roof, or you are my child, and it's only when they move out then they can do what you want.
Yeah.
But children, no matter their age, should be able to have
Right.
some. You can guide them as an adult, guidance. That's some, lending some advice, but not let it be based on conspiracy and whatever it is, your belief system. Because you could have one belief and your child could have another belief, and that is
Correct.
okay.
Correct.
Right now, right here, right, you will have interactions with youth, and they may have a parent saying, no, they may take the vaccine, but they're still skeptical about their child getting the vaccine, all because of what it is they are hearing,
Mm-hmm.
So we
right?
touching
And
the
then they
young
have,
people.
yes, the young people. So
So let's
Lion, they
touch
want
on
to
let's touch
get
another
the,
young person, a young man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We have a young man here to touch as well as we moving forward.
Hi, my name is Messiah Constantine. I'm a recently graduated student from Woodbrook Secondary. Came here to take the vaccine today. All went well, was well coordinated. Reason for taking it is because we have to fight this virus, we have to flatten the curve. You can do your part too.
Right. So
We
you see,
touching
there
the
was
youth. We
any.
touching the youth this morning, Riri. Oh, Riri, face serious so. Riri waited for
Like if
what you're
the
cooking,
church
eh?
not home, but if them
Riri
come and
is
rush inside there and
presently
then
What?
come outside.
concentrating on what you're cooking.
I even eat breakfast yet.
And
Wait.
She hungry,
well,
Mike.
man, I had to
Chica,
bring up my
like
stove
Chica,
off the
why?
road because
She
I have to
hungry.
find out my stove. And only my stove
Yeah,
off
but
the road.
Oh,
And my
wait.
God.
Wait.
well,
She hungry
you can't cook
today.
that and when
She
last I
was
cook on the road, tea, because
horny
man,
last
in
night.
that stove,
Yeah.
everything is blocked up. Up the
we
road,
ain't
just get
going,
hot.
we ain't going there.
Right.
All
So,
right.
What you're cooking today? You better
families,
prepare yourself.
contrary to the social media,
Hello?
we
Yeah.
seeing families as well coming together and doing the right thing or the thing that they're supposed to be doing in the eye. So we have a family and all to touch. So
Yes.
we hearing from the young people, we hearing from the young lady, we heard from the young man. Now we have a family that is, that we're gonna hear from as well.
Say you guys' name?
Hi, my name is Christopher Mendes.
I'm T. Mendes.
Carla Noel Mendez.
Right. And just told me what you told me just now.
Absolutely great service here. We love the fact that the government is doing this and our kids can get back to school. Thank you so much.
All right. Tell me your name.
Carla Noel Mendez.
Thanks a lot.
Word on the
Right?
street.
Yes. So
Word
this
on the street.
mother, and you see the video before with the young man, there wasn't any adult standing right next to him to say this. You can see that the way that he spoke, you could have seen that he actually did his research and he made that choice, because there are parents who understand the seriousness of the COVID-19 virus. And
Mike, Chica,
they, mm-hmm.
Riri, earlier on, I ain't taking nothing. Only remember that section actually, huh? I ain't taking nothing. I ain't taking nothing. I ain't going down all of this. So we drop the camera. Why we want to see all this talk about I ain't taking nothing and I ain't doing nothing and I must stay in my house.
No, you have to remember.
Only
School,
I want to show
school.
the line. Now what we going to show what going on, because remember we was taking nothing. Remember,
And we
really
ain't
know that.
giving our child nothing.
Really know that from the earlies, people saying, "Hey, my child, nothing." They fed up on their child. I ain't doing nothing. I stay at home. But remember that?
Yes.
What's that?
In the rain, eh?
I say this months before. Everybody beating their chest on Facebook. Everybody talking out of there, wherever. Everybody turn scientists, endocrinologists, all the is and that. All who know of a friend who get vaccinated fall on there. Right? Then, who's that? Chica, let's talk to me.
Yes. So we would have heard that some parents saying that they don't want their child vaccinated and it was in great numbers. But what we would have seen on Wednesday, because this was Wednesday, people, it had a lot of rain on
Hello.
Wednesday. Real rain. Thunder, lightning, flood,
How
and we
many
seen
people
that these
come on the
people went
live
out
and
there.
say, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
I keep him a child home. What school the child will go? You feel a teacher. Our people be practical. You go in and teach a class of 25 students. You walk in a class. You feel you going and hold a face-to-face class and an online class at the same time? With the teacher walking in with a clone? So all the people who say they're going and stay home and be online, it has no teacher there. Unless you have plenty money.
And side note, right now Google, so a lot of persons were using Google Meet as a platform for free. And what would have happened is that during the pandemic, because it had online classes for everyone
Yeah.
around the world, what Google would have done is allowed like basically unlimited access to Google Meet to carry on classes throughout the day. But now they stopped that. They carried it back down to only 1 hour free. So while this person may have been able to utilize the day, take breaks, go back in log back in class, so stay logged in, they can't do that anymore.
So for the people who understand what Chica say, I come and take the Trini version. Any Trini version of what Chica just say. Here it is going on. Now you have to pay Google Meet. Anytime it's more than an hour in the classroom, you have to pay a subscription to Google Classroom. And let me tell you, the government is paying that inside the teacher classroom where the teacher going to teach, right? So in layman terms, all the people who say it are online option, Google say they have none. They do it for the pandemic and now it have a way out. So now you have to pay for your subscription. And if the teacher had to teach online, the school had to pay per class or per router per hour for that child home to get an education. So we want to get some information. We're using Pfizer. Pfizer is the company of choice that dealing with the young people. So let me hear what Pfizer had to say. You know me, I like to hear the big boys. Well, let's go. Yeah, let me touch Pfizer.
It's the same Pfizer vaccine and the exact same dose already approved for Canadians over 16.
This is a COVID-19 vaccine trial.
Now kids aged 12 and up can get the same shot.
This is the first vaccine authorized in Canada for the prevention of COVID-19 in children and marks a significant milestone in Canada's fight against the pandemic.
To get here, Health Canada reviewed data from a trial done months ago. It included nearly 2,300 American children aged 12 to 15. Half received 2 doses of Pfizer, the other half a placebo. Among the kids who received the placebo, there were 18 COVID infections. In the vaccinated group, there were none. As for the side effects,
the most commonly reported side effects were temporary and mild, like a sore arm, chills, or fever.
The Northwest Territories will start offering Pfizer to anyone over 12 in Yellowknife tomorrow. Alberta opens eligibility starting Monday. Manitoba is aiming for later this month. And Ontario is talking about whether students can get their first shots inside their schools this summer.
Should we be rushing out to do kids?
Canadians under 19 make up roughly 20% of COVID cases, but their risk of becoming very ill or dying from the virus is low.
It's not just about mortality rate. It's about their health and well-being.
Studies have shown kids over 10 can spread the virus as well as adults.
I think that vaccination of teenagers will just lead to less circulating COVID-19 and will be a helpful step on the path back to normalcy.
Honestly, best Mother's Day present ever.
Janet Murphy knows kids are at the bottom of the vaccine priority list. Still, her 3 teens can hardly wait.
It's been a long haul for them. They really, really want to get back to their friends.
Health Canada says Pfizer may submit trial data for kids age 5 to 11 as early as September, but vaccines won't likely be offered to kids that age until next year. Christine Burak, CBC News, Toronto.
So to help us understand what this means for your kids, I'm joined now by pediatric infectious diseases specialist Dr. Fatima Kakar from Montreal. Dr. Kakar, so Canada is among the first in the world to approve the vaccine for kids this age. I can understand some parents being hesitant about that. What would you say to them about getting their kids immunized?
So first, not to worry, there was no rush in the process. So both Health Canada and the FDA got the data from Pfizer within days of each other, and the FDA is going to announce imminently the approval. And the scientific process was not rushed. It's really just that Health Canada met more quickly, was more efficient, and really made this a priority because we want to get this vaccine into kids for the next school year. So there was no rush in the process. It's really just we made this a priority.
So we heard enormous relief from that mom in Christine's piece. What have you been hearing from kids about what they're struggling with during the pandemic?
So kids haven't been sick with COVID, but they are enormously stressed with what COVID might do to their families and how it's affected them on a day-to-day basis with regards to being in school, being off school, every time they're exposed to COVID, having to quarantine. So kids have had an enormous amount of stress. And what this will really mean is a relief of that stress, and there's hope that next year, even maybe later this summer, life will go back to normal.
That would be great. Dr. Kakar, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. So that would have been Canada's news, and it gives some, information on the trial that would have been done before the Pfizer vaccine would have been approved for emergency use to children from the age of 12. Yes, and we see that students, children, they are being affected by COVID because, they don't have that social interaction. Yeah, and it is affecting their mental well-being and their social well-being, because while it is, if people will say, well, they don't need people, they don't need to be around people, that is not entirely true. There are times when they need to socialize, when they need to interact, to feel that bond and that communication. Hi, Chizan. Good morning on your end. Good morning, Felicia. Right, so we want to say good morning to everyone on the live. So those on the live, if it is you do have children between the ages of 12 and 18, are you allowing them to, one, take the vaccine? And if it is you don't want them to take the vaccine, will you allow your child to make their own decision? Right? Or do you have a child who does not want to take the vaccine and you want that they take the vaccine? So let's hear from you parents. What are your views on vaccinating your child or children between the ages of 12 and 18? And we would have seen during the week that the Minister of Education and one of the ministers in the Ministry of Education, they both ensured that their children were vaccinated, right? They did make sure of that. They didn't stick. Persons were questioning, are the ministers giving their children the vaccine? Yes, they are, because they understand what is happening and the severity of it. And we would have seen that, well, we would have heard that there were 3 severe cases of children under the age of 18, right? And we know that the Delta variant, we would have heard that the Delta variant is really, really hitting home and really affecting. It's now really, it's bad, because they know that it's another strain. It is more contagious, right? So we want to be able to give ourselves a fighting chance Yeah, so what I would say, well, if it is to get the vaccine, it's not going to stop you from getting the COVID-19, it's not stopping you from spreading it. But what it definitely does is give you a fighting chance. So the likelihood of where it is you may end up in ICU, that wouldn't happen, you become really sick. And we would have seen, based on the research that was done in Pfizer, the side effects were very mild and it lasted a few days. You know, like when some persons are getting the cold and they might get a 3 days or some fever, a little cough or runny nose, that's basically it. There's no major side effects when taking the Pfizer. So, you know, let us get our information fact check. Yes,
Yeah.
Lion.
So, Mike, Chica, Riri, let the people know what's going on coming up in a couple hours. We have what you're cooking,
Yes.
and that is bacchanal incarnate. Yeah. And after that is
Plenty.
the effects of COVID-19. Friday night is Real Talk Live.
Yes.
And all who don't know what Real Talk Live is,
Friday night.
Come now, baby, rise the temperature. Come now, baby. Touch it, shut up and bend over. Let your back do the talking over.
This is Yuri from Basic Unconventional Raw Nutrition, inviting you every Friday at 6 p.m. Real Talk. And I also think that's the
Shut up and bend over. Let your back do the talking over. So back up.
Yeah, people. I miss bacchanal.
Watch me. I think we should start promoting Riri a little more on this. Yeah. We could make some money.
Stop out to talk to she prostitute.
No, I never say that. I never say that.
She about
I never say that.
Right. So, Chica invite the tell the persons and them about
back
the effects of COVID, please.
Like she really want to
All
talk
right,
to
so
her.
later this evening at 5:30 p.m., we have the effects of COVID-19 on the family, the blueprints, and the topic this afternoon will be on suicide. I know it could be, you know, kind of quite heavy, but we need to know the signs. Good morning, Candace. We need to know what are the signs of, you know, suicidal thoughts, the behaviors that persons display. So I hope that everyone join in and we're going to have a really good discussion, informative, and, you know, shared experiences of, you know, the pandemic on each and every one of us. And don't forget to relieve the stress. We have Sweaty Sunday tomorrow at 7
Mike hiding
a.m.
from the Sweaty Sunday.
No. When I strong enough, I will come back on. Don't worry. Up to this morning,
Right.
you asked me if today is sweaty. I said no. Today is Saturday. You have to sleep too much.
Nah. Well, we go run the promo for the Sweaty Sunday one time too.
Nah, don't worry. I gonna be back. Don't worry.
This one
I
taking
wanna come
place
and collapse in
in
front
the
of the
morning.
camera.
I bring it, bring the iron love. I bring it, bring the iron. Hold it. Make some noise, jump around and make some noise. Hold it. Make some noise, jump around and make some noise. Nothing sweeter than hearing the sound of who I am.
This is Igir Riri from Basic Unconventional Raw Nutrition, inviting you to Sweaty Soca Sunday with your girl Chica J. You don't know.
Listen,
Yeah.
I tell all you, I ain't able with this thing, you know. I'm not able.
Baby.
Oh God.
What happened?
So
Vivi, I want you to do a promo like that for Radio Irie. Trust me. We will
Yeah, you're
talk.
paying me.
So
You're
you
paying
really
me.
think we doing
Are
that?
you paying me?
That buy work?
Are you paying
Yeah,
me?
what I say? I'll get Sholan to do something
That
like
buy
that for
work if
Radio
we
Irene.
are doing that?
It is all because of Sholan I am doing that. Without him, I wouldn't have been doing that. You wouldn't see all my talents and my promos.
So it's a serious topic this evening, and you
What's
know we
mine?
like to comment, so we lightening up the little vibes at 11, and then we getting into the meat of the matter with suicide, because
I
you
like
know
the
that is something that people
I
going
like
through.
yeah, I like
You
the
know?
topic.
Yeah.
I like the topic that Shamika bring in later.
Yeah, that is a
word,
serious
that
topic.
word
So people stay
suicide.
tuned for that 5:30.
Yeah.
And
That word suicide is
well, you know the
important to talk
bacchanal
about.
start at
When?
11.
What? Saltfish,
Mike,
bygone.
make sure
Not
be
me.
ready.
What?
Don't
Why
call my
every
name.
week?
Yeah.
Why
Don't call
every
my name.
week
Mike,
you like
make
to
sure
cook
and be ready.
saltfish?
Wait now.
Why?
But I hope we ready too, because we need to ask her why she was feeling horny yesterday.
What?
We need to ask
But
her
that
that
was
question.
yesterday. Mike, before we go, right? Do you know past, present, and future is totally different?
Hello. You
We not
always
enough
horny, you know. You talking horny every day. Every day you
we
talking
talking about
horny.
vaccine. We talking about vaccine. You talking about honey. You
But
can
you
tell
say
me.
you was horny yesterday.
So we are
But that
speaking,
was
this is the morning
yesterday.
show, people. So let us know if it is. So we know now the youths are being vaccinated in preparation for the reopening of school. And we want to really wish everyone, good health. And we want to make sure that we take the right measures and we make responsible choices, make responsible decisions, so that we can get through this pandemic together.
We've
Let
gone.
me ask her. Don't go yet. Don't go yet. I want Shamika thoughts on this before we go. This is gonna be the last one. What do you think of Israel Khan stating that the government should charge parents if they don't allow their children to take vaccine?
No comment.
Right, thank you.
All right.
Talk
But
later.
before Chika answer, I am going. I am at work. I'll see Burn Team at 11 for what you're cooking. Bye, you all.
Love.
Bye. Yeah, guys. Nice one. Don't forget, 70 link. Morning again, people. Last night, we had over 300 viewers of this basketball. So we're doing meeting. Burn Team and Radio Irie on the move. What is
Run
it?
some music and see all at 11:30.
Nice. Bye, guys.
Getting rubbed down like a pot with Scotch Brite. Think about the people who was hired to run pipe, the man to build tents, man who hired to run lights. The fireman, the police, and the ambulance outside. The liquor youth up on the one bike with the black eye. Security, we monitor your car till sunrise. Vendor with the water, juice, the hot chicken and fries. I know you see it, cause you never take stuff. Alright. The kind of pound in your mind is only about woman and boss. Yeah, come now, baby, rise the temperature. Come now, baby. Touch it. Shut up and bend over. Let your back do the talking over.
This is Ruby from Basic Unconventional Raw Nutrition, inviting you every Friday at 6 p.m. Real Talk. And I'm also going to set out for